realised I had these, mate.
Yeah.
Play some poker or something, mate.
Hey, pick a card.
Sorry, fidgeting.
Go ahead, guys.
Stephen, not as an excuse, but just as a reality that you could explain to us. Paul was hurt, was playing through it. He did miss some games, but however limited he was, how much did that limit you guys as a team?
I think any of the small details that you can think of, it probably more than likely affected the team in one way or another. You know what I mean? Butterfly effect almost sort of thing, you know? So, but again, it's still one of those things, like, obviously it ain't an excuse. If you say you're good enough to play, then you're still going to come out and play. And that's just rule of thumb across the board, mate. For you guys, if you say you're good enough to work, mate, you got to show up to meet the standard of what you're going to work at, you know? And, you know, that's just reality of it, regardless.
Steven, you've told us in the past you taking a mid-range jumper or a three-point shot is a wasted possession, but is there a feeling that you have right now that you should be able to expand your game offensively at all, or is it still a waste of possession in your mind?
Well, yeah, it still is, because again, it's still my role to do what I'm doing, if that makes sense. Mid-range and three-pointers aren't in that, so I would say that it still is a thing. I could develop it, great, but then, you know, that's just for individual, you know, gain or whatever it is. Again, for the team, you still have to just focus on what you think what your role is. And I was really trying to just lock down on those things, you know. But mate, if I get the word and they're like, "Hey mate, jack a couple threes," and it's like, no worries, mate. Get in the gym. Yeah.
Stephen, my understanding, one of your roles is defense. Obviously, your role on the defense. And I asked something similar to Paul. The way the league is changing with so many teams shooting so many threes, how much more difficult is it becoming to play good defense in this league? And how tough did you see that sort of go as the season went?
How hard is it to
How much
play?
harder now with the 3-point shot just becoming even more of a weapon in this league?
Yeah, I mean that's tough. I think the tough thing is that when the league just brings out the new rules, then we have to adjust. I mean, I guess this year, like the grabbing thing, you know, these all play a huge part in like just a 3-point shot. You know what I mean? Like these fouls that they're calling now, if it's just this, like, you know what I mean? Those each of those little things I think play more of a factor than I guess just someone shooting a three. Yeah, because again that leads to fouls. They get a free throw line earlier. More points just start snowballing from there. Yeah.
We see you chasing guards on switches a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
you do it, but that can't be easy, is it?
No, it's not easy. And I mean, that's just where it is. I mean, with our defense, I mean, I've done it since rookie season. It'll be a bit more so now, because as I said, I mean, a lot of people are hunting for threes. You don't really see the point guards who are just straight downhill, constantly downhill. So, I mean, I'm doing more reps, and I guess like the workload is a bit more tougher, but I mean, it's still, strategy remains the same. Yeah. Get thanks, mate. Get a treat, mate. Get a treat.
Stephen, are you feeling more comfortable with the ball coming to you in the post directly and then becoming a facilitator or attacking yourself?
Do I feel more comfortable?
Yeah, like as time goes on in that role.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Obviously, yeah, more you do it, obviously you feel a bit more comfortable and whatnot, but yeah, feel fine with it, bro.
You have to push yourself more to do it. I mean, as you do all the other things, is that to be more assertive on that offensive end? They do give it in the post. You have to remind yourself to go ahead and you can get yours, so to speak.
I think I know what you're asking. You're basically saying like to go score or something.
You're a pretty selfless guy. You like setting your set screens. You dive on them before you play the defense, but the offensive part of it. The offensive part.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get in on a low block, you have to remind yourself.
Yeah. I mean, you're just talking about to just go score it myself. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I don't know. Yeah. I guess I do, but it's yeah. I like to just have a successful play. That's just the bottom line of it. And you know, sometimes it is me scoring, But then, a lot of times it's like kicking it out to whoever, guards cutting or whatever it is. So, I mean, that's all I'm trying to push myself to do, is more just what is the right play as opposed to what do I need, I need to score this ball. You know what I mean? I don't think it's a confidence thing. It's just more I think, my obsession with trying to get a successful play for that position.
Stephen?
English? Just gave me no nod of approval.
Stephen, I think Billy and Sam have talked about y'all's emphasis on playing faster this season, and it did look like y'all were getting shots up earlier in the shot clock. Does that pertain to you too as well? Like if you get a ball in the post, going up quicker with a move, is that something that plays into that as well?
No. Not at all. Now, sorry, I will say if you're talking about the rim runs, if I catch it, like if it's
if you're in just like a half court set and like they can get the ball in the post.
Half court set, no. I think that what they were mentioning more is just like us getting out on the break and then kind of try and take advantage of any sort of mismatches that we may have, or just if they're even in not in load help or scramble situations. I think they're talking about that more so. You may be right though, bro, but to your question, it doesn't affect me if I'm trying to he said to score it within this many seconds. Let me throw this up real quick. It's more just, I think it's more just attacking any mismatches, kind of get them in scramble, no load or whatever. I think it's more so that.
Do you feel like there was a hesitance on your part this season when it came down low because of the free throw situation? Because you didn't shoot free throws particularly well this year.
Yeah.
Did you feel like there was a hesitance on offense in terms of going up, absorbing contact and getting to the free throw line?
No, I don't think so. I mean, going up, I mean, there's still, even though I missed them, there's still the huge benefit of getting fouled, which is being, the team fouls and whatnot, even if you shoot it bad. I mean, but look at the analytics too, it's still points per possession, it still probably works out relatively well, and you see a lot of teams not actually fouling, doing their whole foul thing anymore. Oh, well, I'm not sure, I'm just going by what I'm seeing when I'm playing. It's just they don't seem to be targeting a player and just fouling them, pegging them. I'm not sure if it's to do with that or not, but with me, mate, I'm just trying to go up regardless of the free throws. Because again, it's still huge benefit, but even more of a benefit if I made it. If I make them, that's the best thing. But still, there's still some good benefit as opposed to me just not being aggressive. Now, if I'm not aggressive and whatnot, then that's a bad thing. But I don't think I wasn't doing what you were saying. I was trying to go up and get contact and whatnot. Yeah.
What do you want? What's your goals in the off season? I know you just finished up, but what do you want to work on this summer and back to next
Got a little
season?
segue, mate. Free throws. Yeah. There you go, mate. Good question. Yeah. Follow me.
What's your summer going to be like?
Nah. I don't know, mate. Honestly, it's just same stuff. Get with them. Still figure out roughly what the role is. Not figure it out, sorry. Just go into detail what you need to work on, watch some film, going into it, and then just develop it from there. If that makes sense for the team. Team role.
You strike me
This guy's approval is amazing. Every time, mate. Just give me a nod.
If that's what it takes, that's
Just give me a nod, mate. Awkward.
Early in your career and even recently, you look like a guy that's constantly getting in-game feedback from the coaching staff and getting instruction from the coaching staff, and you appear to be really technical at it and trying to do exactly what they tell you to do. Is that something you've always done? Is that something you thought continued even to this season?
Yeah, I think I've always been like that. Just because, again, the perspective of what I'm seeing is a lot different from what even you guys are watching. You know what I mean? So, I mean, obviously I always try and just get their advice, see what they're seeing. I mean, I could think oh, this is what I look like and this is what I'm feeling. But again, what is actually happening is I might not even be doing that, if that makes sense. Yeah. So that's why I always try and talk to the coaches and bro, am I feel like I'm up on the pick and roll. Am I back? Too far? He's like, yes, you need to be higher. Just the littlest details, and that's all I try and get. Or if there's a play, again, I go to the scouting dude, whoever did the scout, make sure that You know, if I heard a call, just relay it back to them, like, yo, what is that? Yeah, they'll just tell me whatever it is, and I try and relay it to the boys, just so they could kind of anticipate it, help out with the play a bit more.
How common is that throughout the league? Because I don't see a lot of guys actually doing that.
Yeah, I'm the only one. I'm a genius. I'm a genius. No, everyone bloody does it, mate. Honestly, it's just like, it really depends on just if you guys are looking for it, mate. It looked like they'd, you had a keen eye for it, so you spotted it. But I mean, if you watched some other team, you'll probably see a bunch of them do it too. So, yeah, I'll still take credit for it though, mate. Yeah.
The same thing with officials. It seems like you have a similar approach to talking to officials and figuring out what wrong. Obviously, I could be hearing the wrong thing, but what is your approach when you're talking to officials?
Just seeing what they see. You know what I mean? Like just because I mean, it's the same exact thing. I felt like I was in a legal position. He'll tell me what he saw, and then that's how I interpreted it. And it's like, okay, I'll try not to do it again. That's pretty much always been my approach. I wouldn't say always. It's a bit of a rager before, yeah, bit of a rager. But then, I just learned to just change it because again, they're trying to call the game how they see it, and I'm just trying to figure out because every ref is different and they're in different positions. So I'm just trying to not make the same mistake. So yeah, try and get advice from them too, best I can.
Assuming that he has sent you something, have you responded to any potential in a scanner or trash talking text?
Oh, trash talk? Nah, not trash talk. It was all. Yeah, I think for the most part it was all love, unless there's like some like weird hidden English like that I don't know about. He's just like hidden joke, but yeah, it seemed pretty decent. Yeah.
What do you think about them introducing Enes in Turkish?
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, it's real good. It's just a good little thing. Again, like when you, I don't know, just speaks it a little differently. It may not mean anything to anyone else, but for him, I know it's a huge thing for him. I'm not sure if another team did that for him. So I mean, it's really cool, and it's cool to hear, bro. Just a quick change up. Just like when we do it with Spanish. There's like, what does it say, El Thunder on our t-shirts or something? Yeah, so it's like when they introduce us in Spanish, it's cool. It's cool. I feel pretty cool. Feel pretty great. Josh Eustace is still the best one though. I was like, Josh Huesties. Gold, mate, gold. Yeah.
Even as you guys exit this season, do you think you guys leave thinking you let it sort of get away from you post All-Star break, playoffs? Or Paul's hurt, kind of dealt a bad hand, you gave it your best shot between those, or another story. I mean, what's the narrative as you leave?
I don't know amongst the lads. I'm not sure, but for me personally, it's pretty much all the above, mate. Mostly the first one, you get away. Because the whole objective right from the get-go is to win a championship. Anything short of that is kind of hard to be like, yeah, we did okay. But that's just for me personally. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's, because, you set out, this is the objective, you didn't get the objective done. Like, that's how I see it, personally. Now, again, with other people, it could be different, mate. I'm not speaking on their behalf, it's just me. Yeah.
Was the team in a good place internally through those trials? Were you guys still together? And was the locker room good? Those sorts of things.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, sticking together and all that. And again, like you always got to go in there and just try and figure out a solution. Everyone's trying to do the right thing. Especially that's what's good with type of players we have. It's good from Sam's part too. They're good locker room guys, and when they go out there, they ain't trying to be selfish. They ain't trying to do bad or whatever. They're really actually trying to like represent Oklahoma quite well, So then they, go out there and try and play with a really good mindset and try and figure out how we're going to win, as opposed to like how I'm going to get mine. We don't have that problem at all, which is nice, It's good, but again, it's still, you can still feel all that. You still got to solve the problem. Yeah, it's all good being nice guys and all that sort of stuff. Still got a job at hand,
Stephen, in your mind, given that you said that the championship is the goal every year, and you have guys who are adaptable and want to win, what's preventing it in your mind? What's the next step for you guys?
Yeah, I don't know, mate. There's no one answer. It's too many answers. So yeah. Yeah, there's just too many answers, mate. You can't really. Rather not. No, rather not. Because then you put too much emphasis on it, you know. So it's not one of those things. It's like they all each play a role, even if it's the smallest piece that's affecting it. That still has just as much of an impact as another reason, if that makes sense. So, yeah, that'll do, mate. That'll do.
We talked a little with Paul and Ray about specifically Terrence and his movement from year 2 to year 3, and they're saying that for them that was a really important year. Is that, in your experience, was 2 to 3 a big year for development?
For
you.
oh, for me.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're saying that for them 2 and 3 was a big year? Yeah, I think so. Was it a big year for me? I think so. But I think every year it's one of those weird ones. I mean, you could look back and it's like, yay, like that one was pretty cool. But I guess it's one of those weird ones where like the first year, if I haven't gone through any of that, may not have did this or yada yada yada, blah blah blah, words.
So not any more than any other.
Nah, not me. Yeah, not for me anyway. Yeah, maybe some of the other fellas.
Anybody else? Do the last one for Steve.
I think Billy went. I think Billy went small that fourth quarter against Portland, and you were on the bench. I mean, what do you think about scenarios like that where Jeremy goes to the 5 and you got to watch you guys basically lose a series while you're on the bench?
I mean, it's fine. I mean, again, like I thought it put us in a position to win the series. I'm not saying like it's this weird thing, like just because I'm in the game doesn't mean still gonna have the same outcome. I mean, like it's still, but like again, like Billy thought that was the best decision for the time. I thought it was actually working really well, to be honest. And so that's just how it was. There was no real disappointment apart from obviously losing the game, but it ain't like this weird thing like I should have been playing. It's not that at all. Again, your time on the court it's not a given, and it shouldn't be expected. I mean, the coach needs to feel like that. Put whatever piece he feels that's gonna win us the game. So I mean, I don't go in there expecting to play. Whatever time he does give me, it's like you got to go in there and just give it your all in that time. So I think more so since we lost the game, it's more how I could have done what I could have done better with the time that I was already on there, as opposed to, I would have did this better. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. See that, mate? That's the approval. Fucking old mate, eh?
All right, thank you.